Right now, authorities have arrested a man who they say is behind the firebombing of a pro-life advocacy group's office in Madison last year. How law enforcement was able to find the suspect.
Also, after another school shooting in the U.S., the debate over gun control is back at the Capitol. We take a look at some of the moves lawmakers have made on that issue.
And later, when it comes to the increase in rent, Madison is second to none in the top 100 cities. Why that is and what some are doing to avoid those price hikes. You're watching News 3 now at 6. Authorities have arrested a man today who they suspect firebombed the office of a Madison pro-life advocacy group last year.
Now, the U.S. Department of Justice took 29-year-old Harindu Roy Chowdhury into custody in Boston and charged him with attempting to cause damage by means of fire or explosion. Armand Rahman is live outside the Wisconsin Family Action Building where the crime happened for more on how police tracked the Madison man down. Armand?
Eric and Charlotte, officials say a cursive spray-painted message left on this wall, which read, "If abortions aren't safe, then you aren't either," looks similar to spray-painted graffiti Roy Chowdhury allegedly did during a protest outside the Capitol in January. Now, in addition to that graffiti, authorities also used DNA evidence collected on scene from the broken window glass, a kerosene jar, and a Molotov cocktail. This month, Roy Chowdhury traveled from Madison to Portland, Maine, where officials say he bought a one-way ticket from Boston to Guatemala. He was arrested at the airport in Boston today, and the Department of Justice says Roy Chowdhury faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. The Madison Police Department assisted in the investigation. Both Chief Sean Barnes and the president of Wisconsin Family Action declined our request for comment today. For now, live in Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. Madison fire officials say a fire at an East Side home yesterday was caused by smoking materials. Crews were called to the 3000 block of Hermina Street just after 6 p.m. for a report of a fire in a bedroom. The caller told 911 that he had placed some smoking materials in an ashtray next to some papers. He returned to find his dresser on fire. The man used a fire extinguisher to put the fire out. Firefighters then took the dresser outside.
Let's check the first warn forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi.
Well, it wasn't a bad day today. Lots of sunshine and temperatures, well, a little bit below normal, weren't terribly cold, but we'll see some snow tonight and then the possibility for some severe weather as we head into Friday. We have a first warn weather alert day that remains in the forecast for Friday afternoon and Friday evening for the potential of severe thunderstorms, high winds, hail, heavy rainfall, all possibilities, maybe even a few tornadoes. We'll have to see how warm it gets, but the highest threat of severe weather will be for areas south of Madison. Visible cloud track shows the sunshine that we had today and that band of snow still on the ground from Madison up into the Fox Valley starting to shrink a little bit as it starts to melt, but also a band of clouds passing through northwestern Wisconsin, and there are some light snow showers showing up on Doppler track up there. 6-hour future track radar shows a band of snow showers getting down to about the La Crosse area around midnight and probably pushing through southern Wisconsin about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Current temperatures, middle 40s in Madison. We're at 44. Janesville, a little bit warmer by a couple degrees. Temperatures mainly in the middle 40s, although some 30s up toward the Fox Valley. Here in Dane County, 45 right now. In Mount Horeb, 46 in Verona, and 43 in Deerfield. Look for skies to be partly cloudy this evening. Temperatures dropping off to about 34 by 10 p.m. Later on, I'll take a look at how much snow we can expect tonight and our prospects for severe weather and the timing on that on Friday.
The school shooting in Nashville raises questions again of where Wisconsin is on gun control and school safety laws.
Lawmakers at the Capitol have made moves in the past week on the issue, as political reporter Will Keneally explains.
Most eyes in the state capitol right now are on the state budget. It's a big piece of legislation that can also house smaller policies. And until recently, that included gun control.
I don't think that I'm alone in that there were many of us wondering last night as we weren't able to sleep, what action can we take?
Madison Senator Melissa Agard is pushing to keep gun safety legislation on the front burner this legislative session.
Governor Evers has been a strong proponent. He has included many of the provisions that I've been a champion for in his budget.
That includes things like expanding background checks and passing red flag laws. Republicans say they will start from scratch on the state budget, stripping out some of those Evers policies.
Yeah, non-fiscal policy will all be removed. We've said that already, and we've done that in the past, and so that'll be the way that'll be handled.
Last week, before this Nashville shooting, Agard called to keep that legislation in. So why the budget?
We know that in the United States, the cost of gun violence is roughly $1,600 per person. So not only is this a moral issue, not only is this an issue about protecting our kids, but also saving money for the state of Wisconsin.
Bills creating red flag laws in Wisconsin were introduced in the last 2 sessions, but failed both times. We've not seen a new piece of legislation outside the state budget appear this year yet. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
The debate over the state budget and those smaller policies will continue for the next few months.
Meanwhile, as the investigation into the Nashville school shooting continues, health experts say talking to your children about what they've seen or heard may not be easy, but it may be necessary. Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein says it's common for parents to be nervous about a conversation on tragedy, but she says to start by asking an open-ended question as to how they feel or what questions they may have. Baumstein says parents can provide comfort and reassurance by just being there for their children, but she says it's important not to lie.
We can't tell them that something like this will never happen in their community or in their school, but we can validate their feelings that it is scary.
The therapist says sometimes children won't be ready to talk about their feelings or may need to take breaks from the conversation. She says they can also release that emotion through other means, whether it's through music, movement, or art.
Won't be a surprise to many of you. New data today from apartmentlist.com says Madison's rent is rising faster than any other of the top 100 largest cities nationwide. Our Andrew Banstra hit the streets to talk with renters and figure out why it's happening.
Yes, I rent in Madison, and yes, my rent has gone up in the past year.
It feels like every renter.
I think like almost everyone I know.
Apartmentlist.com said of America's biggest 100 cities, Madison had the largest year-over-year rent increase at 14%.
I would say definitely my rent has increased year over year. I think from last year it's up, I want to say about 10%.
And among those top 100 cities in the U.S., Madison's year-over-year rent growth is astronomical.
Yes, my rent has gone up. I have friends that have rent that's gone up over $200.
Some renters told me they're moving to a new apartment every year just to avoid price hikes on renewal agreements.
I'm moving into places that are of lower and lower quality as the years have gone on.
But how did we get to this point?
Certainly it's a supply and demand problem, right? That as more people are moving into town, hundreds and thousands over the course of each year, our housing supply just hasn't caught up yet.
In Wisconsin's fastest growing county and a high renter percentage of the population, affordable housing is at the center of some of our most contentious politics. Take the mayoral debate between incumbent Sadia Rhodes Conway and challenger Gloria Reyes on Monday night.
I'm proud that my administration has approved over 15,000 units of new housing in Madison so that we can mitigate the middle class being driven out of our city by unaffordable housing.
We have to really provide policies and budgets to help support our Black and brown families and close the racial disparity gaps in our city.
Many people told me today when I asked if they rent that they own, and added in this market, they're glad they do.
The job market here is great, certainly just the quality of life. So I think all of those things really add up to something of a perfect storm where demand is high, rents sort of follow.
Andrew Banstra reporting there. The issue of affordable housing is sure to be front of mind for voters a week away from Wisconsin's April election.
Madison leaders are once again looking to help residents and businesses adopt solar energy technology as part of the Madison program. Renew Wisconsin, which administers the program, expects efforts to increase the number of people choosing solar energy in Madison, thanks in part to additional federal benefits passed as part of the Inflation Reduction Act.
Almost 24 Madison-based businesses have installed solar through the Solar for Business program, and those installations have spurred over $2 million in renewable energy projects from the corporate sector of our community.
3 programs are available this year as part of the Madison effort. A group buy program aimed at getting homeowners better deals on rooftop solar, a program providing business incentives for installing solar, and a backyard solar grant program aimed at affordable housing providers and nonprofit groups.
The U.S. Postal Service hosting a job fair this week here in Madison. It'll be held at the West Side Post Office on Struck Street Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're looking to hire mail carriers, clerks, and mail handlers. Officials say there are full and part-time positions available, but you must be at least 18 to apply. For more information, look for this story at channel3000.com.
Coming up, a recall to tell you about that could impact your next dinner.
Plus, many students and families out and about for spring break, and airports are noticing what they want travelers to know in order to catch your next flight.
Get Pepsi 6-packs for $2.48 and Lay's for $1.88 at HyVee. That's 6-pack Pepsi products for just $2.48 and Lay's for just $1.88. Wednesday only and only at HyVee.
He brutally raped her, repeatedly.
I spent endless nights plagued by nightmares. My bedroom door was barricaded. I was so afraid.
But Judge Protasiewicz ignored her pleas, let the rapist off easy, and now he's back on the streets.
When you don't know where your attacker is, then he is everywhere. He is every sound in the night.
Tell Judge Protasiewicz, stop failing victims and stop protecting criminals.
Remember this, and the false elector scheme. In Wisconsin, extremist Dan Kelly was the right-wing lawyer behind the scenes of it all. The bipartisan January 6th Commission revealed Kelly advised Trump operatives as special counsel to overturn the will of the people and overthrow the election results. Kelly even went on tour promoting the big lie. On April 4th, vote like democracy depends on it, because it does.
Get Pepsi 6-packs for $2.48 and Lay's for $1.88 at HyVee. That's 6-pack Pepsi products for just $2.48 and Lay's for just $1.88. Wednesday only and only at HyVee.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
HyVee is recalling packages of its HyVee chili macaroni hamburger skillet meal because an allergen, dairy, was not listed on the packaging. The affected products came in 5.2-ounce boxes with best by date February 8th, 24, Y18. They sold at HyVee stores in multiple Midwest states, including Wisconsin. Customers who bought the skillet meals who have a dairy sensitivity should throw them out or return them to the store for a refund.
Spring break season air travel in full swing. The U.S. Travel Association says airports have been overwhelmed with demand. Officials at Miami International Airport telling flyers to arrive 3 hours before a domestic flight now. The usual guidance is 2 hours. Still, experts say some potential flyers are avoiding the skies altogether. According to figures from the Transportation Security Administration, travel this March is about 3% slower than back in 2019. If you love the great outdoors, listen up. The DNR says state trail passes for this year are now available. A state trail pass is required for all people 16 or older who are biking, inline skating, horseback riding, or off-highway motorcycling on specific state trails. A pass is not required for walking or hiking. Annual trail passes are $25 for residents and non-residents. There's also a $5 state trail day pass available. Trails that require a pass are in state parks, forests, and recreation areas. When we come back, after failing to get it this year, the Packers are putting their hat in the ring to once again host the NFL Draft.
Also, decades after losing his life in combat, a World War II veteran from Middleton is finally home. How his family is remembering him.
Plus, we could be seeing some rough weather by the end of the week. Gary will have the latest in his complete forecast.
Come to Slumberland and get 20% off our beautiful new furniture and decor during our Spring Spruce Up event. Plus extra discounts on recliners, patios, Sealy mattresses, and sectionals. Get an extra 20% off right now at Slumberland Furniture.
You already know Dan Kelly worked for a radical anti-abortion group and on the court could uphold Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban with no exceptions for rape or incest. Here's what you didn't know. Kelly opposed background checks on all gun sales and even wrote the court decision making it easier for dangerous people to carry guns in public, banning abortion, putting our communities at risk. Dan Kelly is too extreme for our Supreme Court.
How did Richard Bong shoot down 40 planes in World War II? He said he got so close, he couldn't miss. Learn about Richard Bong, World War II, to Vietnam, and Korean Wars, right here in Superior.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. Join us on air, online, and in your village, and take time for kids.
It's Stop the Madness month. If your energy bills are too high, stop the madness. If your comfort is out of balance and you go straight from heat to AC, stop the madness. If you've had it with outside noise, stop the madness. Get insulated now and save up to $2,000 with the energy tax credit plus our madness discount. But the clock runs out at the end of the month, so call today.
USA Insulation.
Sleeping in pain or too hot? Come to Slumberland and get 20% off mattresses. Find your perfect mattress with our easy rating system and save big. Get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $4.99. Only at Slumberland.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
For nearly 80 years, the family of William Sonny Simon was unsure about what happened to their World War II soldier.
After DNA evidence confirmed his identity, his funeral was held in Middleton today. News 3 Now's Catherine Merck was there and shows us how the soldier will be remembered.
Last time he was in Middleton, Sonny Simon was remembered as a talented athlete. For his return 80 years later, he's being remembered for his service and his long overdue return to his family. The memory of Sonny filled St. Bernard's Catholic Church this morning. Those who were at the celebration said though the occasion was somber, it was a great sense of closure having the ceremony to remember his life.
An incredible sense of closure, of relief, just knowing that he's here, he's back with us where he should be.
Sonny Simon was buried next to his parents at St. Bernard's Catholic Cemetery. He's survived by one sister and a brother with generations of nieces and nephews who were at today's services. Sonny would have turned 99 years old on April 18th next month.
Wisconsin may be known for its cheese and dairy products, but another popular food season is in full swing right now. Maple syrup making season is underway in northeast Wisconsin. March's weather makes this an ideal time of year for maple syrup production in the area. In fact, maple syrup makers actually wish their area had gotten more snow during a recent winter storm.
We got a little jump on it early this year because of the mild winter. We knew the temperatures were warm all winter, so we were prepared to start tapping in February.
Experts say snow helps keep the temperature of the sap cooler, which allows for producers to make the syrup. Quiet weather today, but some severe storms are in the forecast for this Friday. Here's Gary with the latest.
And before we get to that, we have the possibility for a little bit of light snow tonight. On Doppler track, you can see some light snow showers moving through northwestern Wisconsin down to just south of the Twin Cities. 6-hour future track radar shows this little band. It's actually along a cold front, picking up a little more moisture and becoming a little more widespread as it pushes towards southern Wisconsin. Right now, it looks like if we see any snow accumulations, they should be less than an inch. It'll be just a quick weather system, but it could make roads slippery in areas that do get a little bit of accumulating snow. 3 things you need to know in the forecast after the snow. Look for a quiet day for the rest of tomorrow, but then showers develop on Thursday afternoon, and there'll be rain showers because temperatures will be back into the 40s, and then it turns windy and milder on Friday with high temperatures up around 60. Showers and thunderstorms develop, and there's even the possibility for some severe weather. In fact, we have a first warned weather alert day in the forecast for Friday afternoon, Friday evening. That's probably the time period where severe weather is most likely. High winds, hail, heavy rainfall, all possibilities. Depending on temperatures, could even be enough instability in the atmosphere to get a few tornadoes to spin up. Highest severe weather threat is going to be for areas south of Madison. Now, as we take a look at future track beginning at midnight, early Friday morning, Showers and thunderstorms lift into northern Wisconsin, but kind of expand into southern Wisconsin as moisture continues to feed up from the Gulf of Mexico. The air will be quite humid for this time of year, and with winds out of the south, those temperatures will also rise. As a cold front starts to approach from the west, notice the wind shift here. Showers and thunderstorms develop out ahead of that, and that's when the best chances for severe weather will be. Late Friday afternoon into early Friday evening. But as soon as that cold front sweeps to the north and east, the severe weather threat ends, temperatures start to drop, and notice even by midnight already, areas west of Madison might start to see the rain mix with snow and then briefly change over to snow early Saturday morning before the system pulls off to the north and east. So, a couple of things from the storm system. The severe weather threat, again, highest from Madison southward, the absolute highest severe weather threat across eastern Iowa and northern Illinois, where temperatures are likely to be in the 60s and maybe 70s. Rainfall amounts between a ½ inch and an inch generally, but we could see some 1 to 2 inch amounts or even higher amounts in heavier thunderstorms. It just depends on how long they linger over the area. And then on the back end of the storm, the possibility exists for maybe an inch or two of snow accumulation, although by far the heaviest snow will fall up near Lake Superior, where there could be as much as a foot of snow in far northern Wisconsin and parts of the upper peninsula of Michigan. Planning your night across Dane County, low temperature 30 in Oregon, 30 in Monona, 29 in Mount Vernon, with some snow showers late tonight. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, 29 for the low in Janesville, 27 in Monroe. But notice skies clearing out early in the morning, already down to 22 in La Crosse. Any flurries will end early tomorrow morning. High temperature topping out at 34, so a colder day with plenty of sunshine. Planning your day, midnight, you can see those snow showers right about through the La Crosse area. As we step forward in time, 3 a.m., they're through the Dells over toward Boscobel. By 6 a.m., they're moving through Madison, but it should snow maybe an hour or two as the band passes on through. And notice by 9 a.m., the snow south of us and skies actually clearing to the north and west. Again, those snowfall amounts, if they occur at all, dusting to less than an inch. First warned 7 to 10 day forecast. The warm-up Thursday with rain developing, thunderstorms Friday, switching to snow early Saturday morning, then another warm-up and another storm system early next week with the possibility for showers and thunderstorms and maybe even a severe weather threat in there as well. By the end of the week, we calm down a little bit with temperatures closer to normal.
Gary, thank you. The Packers say a finalized bid for Green Bay to host the 2025 NFL Draft will be in by the end of the week. Packers Director of Public Affairs Aaron Popke says the Packers and Discover Green Bay are teaming up to submit the bid to the league. Now, the cost to put on a possible NFL draft in Green Bay won't come cheap. Popke says the team has dedicated $1 million towards hosting it. City leaders, though, have said that if the draft is held there, it would bring in about 250,000 people and up to $90 million to the region. Zach?
Speaking of the Packers, Matt LaFleur talked for the first time since his quarterback said he intends to be a Jet. His thoughts on Rodgers and transitioning to Jordan Love. That's next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
On abortion rights, do you want extremist Dan Kelly holding the gavel? Kelly wants abortion banned even in cases of rape, incest, and the health of the mother. He'll uphold the 1849 criminal abortion law that allows doctors and nurses to be jailed for performing abortions. And he'll strip women of their freedom to make their own decision on abortion. So don't give Dan Kelly a gavel with your vote. He's just too extreme.
Countertops are the center of a home. With elegant to everyday options. Easy installation you can do yourself. And durability that can take you from crayons to calculus. Transform everyday spaces into gathering places with custom craft countertops. 11% off at Menards.
Clean, safe, fun. I wanted it all when we needed daytime care for Mom. Oh, Grace's new adult day center is so nice. Now she goes twice a week while I'm at work and loves it.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Make a move in the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed for more responsive performance and more advanced tech. When you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2022 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Get moving and find the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
A man brutally attacked and sexually assaulted a woman. The victim spent endless nights unable to sleep, plagued by nightmares. Judge Janet Protasewicz called the offender many females' worst nightmare, but she cut his sentence to only 2.5 years in prison. Judge Janet's dangerous judgment puts our families at risk. That's why sheriffs throughout Wisconsin support Dan Kelly. He's the only candidate we can trust to keep violent felons off our streets. On April 4th, vote Justice Dan Kelly. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
For over 2 years, a Sauk County woman paid monthly for a home warranty plan. But after several repair claims, no money reimbursed.
You just get kind of put off.
Tahlil Mohildin shows you what happened after this disgruntled customer made a call for action. Thursday at 6.
I've got nothing but love and appreciation for what Aaron has done for so many in our organization. Obviously, have experienced a lot of great times together, won a lot of football games together.
Matt LaFleur wouldn't specifically say that the Aaron Rodgers era in Green Bay is over, but he sure did talk a lot about transitioning from Rodgers to Jordan Love. His biggest thing out of his 30-plus minutes talking with reporters at the NFL meetings, Love is not Rodgers. Moving from 12 under center to 10 will be a progression.
It's going to be a different role for him, certainly, and I think we all have to kind of temper our expectations with, for him. It's different when you're going into a game versus when you're starting a game, and it's going to be a process, but it's going to be, it's going to be exciting for him, for us.
The Badgers are the lone remaining Big Ten men's basketball team standing when it comes to playing basketball in March. And Wisconsin made it clear when they accepted the NIT bid that they're in it to win it. And now after stringing three straight wins together, UW is 2 wins away from bringing home their first NIT championship in school history. And that's a spot this group wants to be in.
Look at it as a great opportunity. Everyone must be playing at the end of March, and we have the opportunity to go out there. We're still playing great teams. If the last 4 or 8 teams that are playing, you got to win a lot of games to get to it. And so I feel like the competition's good, and it's really where we want to be.
Their semifinal matchup is already underway with North Texas right now. Early in the first half, Wisconsin has that early lead. We'll have highlights and reaction from the Badgers tonight at 10. And as expected, Wisconsin softball's home opening doubleheader against UW Green Bay has been called off because Goodman Diamond is filled with water and some snow. This was the scene yesterday while the Badgers tried to get the field ready to play. Wisconsin is scheduled to host Illinois for a 3-game series starting Friday, but Gary, that might be a little iffy too.
That will be rain and thunderstorms, and you obviously don't want to be playing softball in that. Tonight we have the possibility for a little bit of light snow, but right now skies are clear on the WISC-TV Skycam. The Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam also clear, but there are some snow showers up around Eau Claire and up toward the Twin Cities. 6-hour future track radar shows those snow showers getting down to around the La Crosse area around midnight, but then we turn our attention to the severe weather threat on Friday.
He's already worried about opening day. Amazing.
That's it right in between.
About softball, too. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
We'll see you back here at 10.